Let's get you updated on our ag commodity trade on the very first trading day of 2024. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate that. Love talking with you about the markets. And now, as we dive into our grain trade, we got off to a rough start. Let's see if it's coming back or not. Let's go to the corn. And March corn right now, if you recall, we opened about 5 lower this morning. Right now, we're 5 lower. We're at 466 and a quarter. Hasn't really improved any. December still down by 2 3/4 cents. $5.75 is the last trade. It got down to $5.25. That so far is the daily low, but man, that is very dangerously close to putting a 4 handle on that December contract. Meanwhile, in soybeans, wow, they had an ugly start. March down 23.5 at 1274.5. That's only 2.5 cents from our bottom of the day. Let's take a look at what the wheat is doing in Chicago. First, we have March down 11.5 at 616.5. So we're within a couple of pennies of our low of the day there. We have Kansas City March down 13.5 cents at 628.5. Wow, that's about 13 or 14 cents off of our overnight high now. Spring wheat trade in Minneapolis, March is down 7 at 716.5. That's 2 pennies from our low of the day there. In the cotton market, when we opened up this morning, or when we came on the air, we were down about 40 points. Now the March down 72 points. We're at 80.28 per pound right now, and that's about a penny and a half off of our earlier high of the day. Crude oil trade was up $1.50 when I came into work, and right now it's down 13 cents, so it doesn't know what to do. February crude is 71.52 right now. The U.S. dollar index, when we came on the air, was about 800 higher. Now it's up 716 points. March futures at 101.745. And for those of you watching the Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures down 75 points at 37,937. But it has bounced almost 200 points from its earlier low this morning. Oh boy, here it is 2024, and it's time to check in for the very first time with Ben Hushon of the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. He joins us right now. Happy New Year to you there, Ben. Explain, if you would, what's going on there and what's the setup for this coming growing season here.
Happy New Year, Marlin, to you and all the viewers, listeners, and coworkers. We continued on a pattern here that this past week that we've been on for the last 3 weeks. Measurable rain, significant rain during the week, and certainly no field work was done. And for the viewers, I sent in a few pictures this morning. We have something called snow that's actually in the forecast, potential significant snow for us here this coming weekend. So there's a good chance, went out and looked at a couple wheat fields, some of the earlier planted, and then a field that I know was pretty much near the end, just to see. We've had a lot of moisture the last 3 weeks. We've certainly had plenty of above freezing temperatures, so wheat looks good. I don't expect this snow that may come this weekend to be the blanket for the winter, because I think I saw the future forecast back in the 50s next week. But we've had so few days below freezing at night that I just wouldn't suspect it would last very long. But it gets some excitement in our community for sure.
So when it comes to the agenda for 2024, what's the first thing producers are going to be working on there locally?
You know, it seems to all be tied to the grain market. Farmers are the eternal optimists in general. I mean, they're certainly counting on, well, even in a dry spell, they'll still plant next year because it'll rain someday. So, but they really feed, to get excited, they really feed off of that grain price. And it's certainly, as you just finished quoting, Marlin, they aren't nearly as excited as they were the previous 3 years. So we're trying to encourage farmers at this point to stay on that path of continuous improvement. There's lots of meetings being offered, extension meetings, winter grower meetings, just area events to get out amongst some other growers, learn what worked for different growers, and test plots. So many times farmers will plant a test plot in the spring, or split a field with some new product or gadget somebody gets them. And we just encourage them to look back at that data, let their local dealer help them read that data, and try to learn from it. And just a good time here the next couple of months. They're shopping a lot of fertilizer. You ask what are they doing? They're certainly shopping the grain market as to when to sell, and also making a few calls on fertilizer at the same time.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, thank you, and good luck on working with everybody as they get ready for the new growing season. It's not that far away anymore. That's Ben Hushon of the Mill in Whitehall, Maryland. We'll pause here. We'll get you updated on our livestock trade, all kinds of fireworks over there. We'll talk about that after this.